How is the orange one responding to the Epstein case that won't go away? And how angry he is, what he wants to do. This is a huge mess, and we need to keep talking about it and looking at it. Will Ghislaine Max, is she safe? I believe there's already been in the past an attempt on her life for entertainment purposes only. Will this case go before the Supreme Court? Will she be freed? Because his supporters are not letting this go. Okay, so we also want to look at, will this administration or the felon in the White House, the orange felon, be actually sued civilly for what he's doing with the concentration camp in Alligator Auschwitz? Okay, and we'll look at NPR being attacked and gutted, the funds. Will that happen? Because this is important. It's not a big top of the list, but it's important that we have fair and honest news reporting. Just because you don't agree with the felon in the White House doesn't mean that you should be unfunded or not allowed to broadcast. Okay, so let's look at this. We also want to look at, how is this affecting you? How are you being affected with this constant onslaught of traumatizing? Well, we're entering a period now where the energy is a little bit more like this weekend. I'm recording this on the 16th, where the energy is going to be kind of stay where it is. It's still kind of like a weird earthquakey kind of unexpected accident, like strange energy. So, and it can also move very fast. So it's really important for you to be grounded, to be aware, and we'll talk about that. All right. So let's look at this energy. Wow. The orange one, there are many names I have. I don't use his name, not because I'm name calling, because I don't like saying the name, because it pulls that literally when you say a name in spirituality or anybody, when you say a name, you're calling that person's energy to you. So that's why. Also, it's kind of fun and childish to call names. That's not usually something that I would do. I'm pretty slow to anger and pretty in control of my emotions or my responses, how I respond to people in situations. But I am saying it also because the algorithms. Okay. So, but I just feel that he is the orange one, or Taco, or the felon, whatever you want to call him, is really angry. And it looked to me like he wanted to actually end somebody's life. That's how angry he is. He's really angry. And I thought, who is this that he's angry at? It's a woman. I thought it was the Democrats, but I feel that it is Ghislaine, because if he could get rid of her, then this problem could go away. That's what he thinks. But there are other people with information. I've read on this before, and I don't feel like probably will never know everything, because everything is only in the hearts and the minds of the people who were victimized, or the people who perpetrated the crimes against children, young girls, and young women. So are they even still around? I feel like a lot of them have been silenced or had their lives ended or paid off, so, or afraid to come forward. So right now, um, the orange one is saying that, well, this was all just made up by the Democrats. And the Democrats, Ro Khanna, and I think it was also Jamie Raskin, but definitely Ro Khanna put out a bill to vote to release the files and to, have an committee meetings, investigations about, and call these people up, to testify, Pam Bondi, and well, I just said her name, and um, Ghislaine, and all these people to testify, and every Republican voted no. Okay, so they are, this is not good. This is not going away. This is a conspiracy theory that has actually happened, and that the one who Ep is he's dead now. He was convicted, and he was awaiting, I guess he was awaiting trial for more convictions. So if you're saying that this was just a made-up conspiracy, it went through the courts and he was already convicted, and there's a client list, there's there's evidence. So what you're saying, if you're saying that it's just made up, then all that, I mean, so it's that doesn't fly. Now, what is interesting to me is that I wanted to look at, and when I'm looking at them, because when I see people talk, one of the ways my abilities work, when I listen to someone talking and I can see them, I can tell like if they're lying or not. And so but let's pull the cards to check, to confirm what I'm seeing, is that Mega Mike and Marjorie MTG were sitting together and talking, saying that, yeah, this needs to come out. I'm like, do they actually understand, if this comes out, that the felon's political career, maybe even his freedom, is going to go away? Do you understand that? Do they actually understand that? I believe uh, the justice starting with a T, Amos, yeah, that one, yeah. I believe that he was a client, maybe not on the airplane, maybe not on the island, but a client, that he had some kind of illegal interaction with a young child. And there's also young boys that were hurt, so that were sex trafficked. So this isn't just about young girls, but if this comes out, if this list actually were to come out, Ghislaine has the goods. She knows everything. So she can basically, she's been told, my sense is that she's been told, look, just lay low. We'll get you out of there. We'll pay you off. We'll give you plenty of money for your commissary, whatever. We'll take care of you. And as soon as this dies down, we'll get you out of there. Somehow, when he gets in office or whatever, we'll get you. So he's in office. So what's up? Why aren't you getting out yet? So she knows everything now. So she knows everything, and she can take down this presidency, billionaires, and a Supreme Court justice. So she can basically, so I feel like this is such a mess. Okay, so I feel like there is something that's going to happen probably pretty quickly about this. She wants out of there, and people are really angry. And so she has this evidence. I feel like it may go to the Supreme Court, unbelievably. I feel like she's going to kind of get out of there somehow, out of prison, and then she'll be somewhere. Well, once she gives up the evidence, she gives it away, basically sells it for, bribery to buy her freedom. I feel like she's going to let it go. I feel like she is going to let it go. But here's the thing, even if she gets out of there, anywhere where she goes in the world, people will know her. She'll never have a regular life. She'll never be welcomed into society or communities by most people. She'll be hated, and basically her life is over. She could live somewhere in isolation and have someone do the shopping or take care of her, but she can never really be a free person in society again because of what she's done, which is justice. Even if she's freed from there, her life is basically over. She's marked as a person who was involved in sex crime. Now, so let's just look. So it isn't, because I see her getting out of there, maybe some type of court case or coming before Congress or something. That could happen. So what I'm looking at is timelines, because there's so many timelines and scenarios that can happen here that it's I haven't quite pinned down like what exactly is going to happen, because people think that the future is a script that I can read to them and everything is going to happen at this time and this is what, and it isn't. Life isn't like that. There are things that are coming to light, and there are things that spirit shows me that I can see what's going on now. But what's going to happen isn't necessarily already decided, because it's determined by other people's actions, thoughts, and feelings, and which their choices where they're creating karma or clearing karma, so so everybody has free will. Okay. But I do feel like I feel like with her, when I look at her, I feel a movement. There's something that's going to happen. And then once that happens, I feel like she's somewhere else, but I also feel like she's still stuck there. I feel like she's alone. So her aloneness can be like a prison, because who would want to be around her, associated with her? Not very many. She may find a couple of associates, or I don't know, it is not good. Okay, so let's ask. I mean, he wants to off her. Let's see, let's ask first, is her life in danger? Billionaires, Supreme Court justice, they want this hidden, they want this to go away. Not going away. Is her life being threatened? No. Yes and no. Okay, so people are making decisions, they're deciding, she's deciding what she's gonna do. There's gonna be actions taken. Right now she's trapped. People are gonna try to manipulate the situation. I do feel like she's in danger, but she has the information that it's her. She's the witness. Even if they take the evidence, she's still the witness. She's the one that knows. She's the one that was there. And I do feel like Michael Wolff, that author, he does have information. Other people have information as well that they're hiding, and there may be other people who, the not the clients, but the girls and the young boys that were abused may still come out. So that could happen. But so she's going to be manipulated. I don't feel these aren't death cards. These are hiding away and juggling of information. So I don't feel like her life is at risk. It's like you could kill Ep, you killed Ep, which I believe happened by the orange one for entertainment purposes only. I mean, it's like you don't have to be too bright to figure that one out. I mean, it's like and I know I'm not a court of law. You have to be, it have to be proven in a court of law, but I'm like, you don't really need to be too bright to figure that one out. I mean, he has the evidence, he has the goods. All of a sudden he disappeared, and Bill Barr was the person that saw him right before. I mean, and then then they want to hide, make it go away. I mean, come on. It 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 isn't too hard. It isn't too much of a stretch to look at that. Now I know you can't like convict somebody. They have to be convicted in a court of law. So that this is not evidence in a court of law, but it's a psychic look. It's like, duh, come on. I mean, a kid could figure this one out. I mean, it's just, no offense to kids. I mean, okay. So, yikes. So is, does MTG believe the evidence should come out, and that does she believe that the orange one is is not guilty? Because they're asking for this to be released, but do they understand if it gets released, it's all over for the orange one and the Supreme Court and billionaires that were involved? I mean, this is huge. Okay, so let's look. Does MTG believe that the orange one was involved in this? You know, ooh, oh my God. Okay, involved, but maybe not like as much as he actually was, because there are pictures of for entertainment purposes only, and topless young women sitting on the orange one's lap that they have as evidence. Okay, besides all the other pictures and the things with saying, that he's on the flight logs. I mean, they were best friends. I mean, come on. Come on, Jesus. It really isn't that brilliant to figure this out. Oh my God. And everyone's acting like, oh, well, they were friends. That's not against the law. Okay. He's already been convicted of, not technically of rape, but the judge said it's equal to rape, of sexual assault, and all these other women have come out against him. I mean, it's like, come on. And he said to grab him by the you-know-what. I mean, he's not a man that respects women. And it's just like, and none of that, of course, is evidence in a court of law. But yeah, it's, probable cause, probably. So this is falling apart. Okay. This is MTG. She's looking at, oh, my base is falling apart. Something needs to change. And so she's putting out the message. Does she believe that she needs to put out the message to watch her own back? And yeah, I think she thinks that he's got something to do with this. Does she know that he's a pedophile? She knows. She knows. Oh my God. MTG knows that the orange one is a pedophile. She knows. Does she want him to be taken down as president? If that's where we go, if that's where this goes? No, no. That, but her supporters are angry, so I feel like she doesn't really know what to do, except, what is she gonna do? Oh, she already did announce it needs to. Is she hoping this goes away? No, she knows it's not. Wow. Okay. Let's look at, he looks like a Keebler elf, Mega Mike. Does he know that the orange one, Paco, whatever you want to call him, is a pedophile and a criminal with, as far as the Epstein case? Does he know he's a criminal? No, no. He feels like this is a fight. Does he know that does Mega Mike know that the orange one is a pedophile involved with F? No. He thinks, No, he doesn't. Oh my God, he doesn't know. Wait a minute, let me just ask him psychically. Do you know? He's going to try to cover it up. Even if he saw pictures, he would say, "This is improper, and it's probably doctored by the Democrat." He's going to lie for him. He's going to try to cover it up. He's sitting there with MTG. He doesn't know what to do. He's running scared. He's freaking out. Mega Mike is, because but he doesn't really believe. He's such a kind of a weird Christian Boy Scout guy. He thinks everyone, he thinks he can't in his mind imagine this is real. MTG knows. She knows. She's no dummy in some ways. She knows. Oh my God. I think this is gonna destroy the cabinet. And I think actually is Bondi gonna lose her job over this? Is she gonna lose her reputation? Let's look. Is she gonna lose her Yeah, eventually she's gonna just I can't. She's gonna be on the road again, packing her bags. She will leave because of this. Huh. Is her career gonna be ruined from this? Oh yeah. Oh my God. She's a freaking wreck. Look at that. Yes, it is. Everything's falling apart. She's trapped in a situation, and bad news for her. It looks bad. This looks bad. Oh, everyone who gets involved with him, we all knew this. We've known this for years, over a decade. We've known this. Everyone who gets involved with him ends up losing their job or going to prison or becoming a criminal. I mean, it just, yeah, she's a, Bongino and Patel, he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's like a little kid. He's so unorganized and he just doesn't even know what's what. Bondino, at least he has some kind of background in law, and he knows how to put out he wants to do the right thing. He actually, let me ask, did Bongino believe that the orange one was innocent? Did he believe? I don't think he does anymore. He's not stupid. Bongino has a brain in his head. I don't agree with any of his political stands on things, but I think he's really kind of confused and bought into what he wanted to believe for his job at Fox. So let's say, does Bongino know that 45 is a pedophile? No, you know, but he feels like he doesn't look good. The messaging, he's all about the messaging, how he looks on his podcast and his future career as a news forecaster or something, a TV personality. So the messages look bad. It's not happening the way he thinks it should, and it's a bad look. I don't think he's looking at the fact that his wife may know. Does his wife know that the orange one's Did you know he's the wife know? Oh yeah, the wife is like, you got to get away from this guy. I think he did it, but I don't feel like Bongino's really ready to accept that he's a pedophile. Wow. Um, and he loves his wife, so he feels, I don't feel like he's a really, in some ways, I don't feel like he's a bad guy. I just feel like he is just really thrown off by this and really understands it's not a good look. And that's what he cares about right now. He's kind of surface. He can't go deep and find out the truth because it's too much for him. So he's going to keep it surface. Everything's about how it looks, how it sounds with him. Wow. Okay. So does Patel know that when I go into his energy, he's just like, oh my God. He's like, I feel like the brain isn't working that well, even. Mostly because he's scared and he's over his head. And does Patel believe? But I don't feel like he really cares. Does he care? With him, I would ask, does he care if the orange was a pedophile? Does he care? Well, there's secrets. He doesn't really care. Oh my God. At least Bongino has some kind of ethics or something. He doesn't want to know the truth. But this guy doesn't really even freaking care. He knows there's secrets. He knows something's up. He doesn't really care. Doesn't want something bad to happen, and things are going to fall apart for him, but he doesn't really care. That's so weird. Okay. It's so weird to look at people and what they're doing, and okay. Um, so let's ask, and these are on timelines now, so I don't really like asking questions, but I will. Um, is this is gives okay, is she gonna go before Congress? Is Ghislaine? I think I read on this, and I think she will. Is she gonna go before Congress? Yeah. Oh no, no, no. Okay, no. It might be a closed door. The Democrats are trying to get her in there to testify. Not gonna go well. And no. Is Ghislaine gonna go before the Supreme Court? Because if all of this is made up by the Democrats and there's no evidence, there's no list, then why is she in prison? I mean, because am I like use your brain here, okay? So, is this going to go before the Supreme Court? Because if there is no case, there's no evidence, it was all made up. Then why did Epstein already get convicted, and why is she in prison? Okay, so is this going to go before the Supreme Court? No, they don't want to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe in the future, but like, no, they want to hide it. No, they don't want to do this. This has to do with has to do with a lot of money and billionaires. People don't want this coming out. Maybe in a future Supreme Court, but not this. Probably, I mean, there's a small chance, probably not. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do. They don't want anything to do with it. You can't. I mean, oh my God. So stay tuned. What a freaking mess. Well, that's what happens when you elect, or I don't believe it was legal. I believe there's evidence coming out. There's some really good shows. Who was that? I saw with people who are investigating the results of the 2024 election, where that it's coming out in New York. The information will come out, and then other counties will start looking at, was there tampering with the votes for the 2024 election? And I feel like they're going to find that it is. And my sense is why Kamala didn't do the recount is because her children were threatened. Just don't say anything. We'll leave you alone. We'll leave them alone and let us do our 4 years here, whatever. So that's why she didn't do the recount. Wow. Because it should have been. And there are, I mean, these guys are experts who look into this. The court case, the evidence will come out. I'm not an expert on technology. And there was this one guy was saying, he was an expert on this, and he was saying how if you cheated, then you could cover it up. How if you went in with the machines and changed votes, that's why we need paper ballots. So yeah. But I do believe evidence will come out let's look at it with the cards. Will evidence come out that in the New York case, I forget what county it's in, where they're reviewing was there election irregularities or cheating in the 2024 election? Because in some areas that were Democrat, the Democrat Congress or Attorney General run, but Kamala got no votes at all, and the orange one got them all. And like, how does that happen over and over again when that never usually happens? Okay, so let's just look. Will that case in New York prove that there was cheating and spur further investigations in the election? Oh, that's not good. Huh. Oh, wait, okay, yeah, that um I'm not sure with these cards. I'm not getting a good answer. Let me look psychically. I don't feel like it's gonna come out. That's upsetting. Let me ask again a different way. Will it be shown that there was cheating in the 2024 election? That it was rigged somehow? Will it be found that there's cheating in the 2024 election? Let's say before the midterms. Will it be found that there was cheating with evidence in courts that there was cheating in the election? Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That it may not be that court. I feel like that court may put it off to somebody else somehow. It doesn't feel really clear what they do, but there was treachery. People weren't watching. They're working on evidence, and news will come out soon that there was a spy in the camp, that something happened. Okay. Huh. All right. Will Elon spill the beans that if he gets deported, I feel like he would, but not while he's in America, because it just, but let's ask, will he, because he's very unpredictable. Will he spill the beans that he helped that the orange one get elected illegally? It was stolen. He's worried about that. No, he's not stupid. Okay. There was monkey business. Stuff happened. He's worried about it. He doesn't really want that to get out. And no, because he would lose too much money and might even lose his freedom. No, no, he's not gonna go there. Um, okay, he's already gone far enough. He can take him down with the Epstein files. Okay, so let's look at will the concentration camps, will this administration be sued for the concentration camps? Because lawyers can't get in there. People have gone in there, Congress, and seen the deplorable conditions that we have, camps where we put people away with no due process and can't see a lawyer, and horrific conditions. So I feel like that tribe is going to win the lawsuit to get them out of there. But then will there be, yeah, so that's going to happen. And then will there be civil lawsuits against what's his name, Miller, and the orange one? Will they have to pay, like, get in line for the lawsuits? There's so many lawsuits for people who were inhumanely put in concentration camps. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 This is not, there will be civil lawsuits against this administration and people in there. They will have victories, but can they get their money? because they'll get some money, but can they get their money from this guy when he may not even be around anymore by the time that all happens? All right, let's look at NPR being attacked. They're going to try to defund NPR. And this is like taking over our community, our, right to free speech. And they're basically, I don't like everything they say. I don't agree with everything they say. They're kind of a little bit far left. Basically, I think they pretty much tell the truth, but sometimes I think they go a little bit off the rails. And I may be wrong. I may be thinking of a channel called KPFA that's really a far left radio station around my area. It's in different areas in the United States, but I think NPR is more neutral. So that could be, I could be wrong about NPR. I think they're more, I don't think they're Sesame Street. I think they're just the news, I think. I'm not sure. But let's look at, will Congress take away their funding? Uh-oh. What is that? So trying to take away their money. They're not gonna, the courts are gonna fight back, but I'm not sure what this means. Let me look psychically. What does that mean? Are they gonna lose? Is NPR gonna lose funding? Yeah, darn. So does that go to the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court will take away their funding. No. Does that get reversed when the Democrats get in? No. Will they have private funding? Yeah. So I feel like some states, or will it be funding from some billionaires or corporations will fund them? No. A private person will fund them? Yeah. Yeah, so it's because some states really need that. They actually, a lot of people don't have regular news. So, yeah, I do feel like, so let's look at the future of NPR. Let me look at the future of NPR. Justice and the White House, they're gonna fight. I'm sorry. I don't think it looks good for them. That's not my choice. But yeah, so the law comes in from the White House. They have a fight, which they may not win, and then they lose. Sorry. So, okay. I have some classes coming up. Check out my website. I'm putting out a video tomorrow on a spiritual video on, oh, we didn't talk about how this is affecting us. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. And my classes help with that because my classes are about developing your intuition and healing yourself spiritually. And so please check out my free video tomorrow, my spiritual video that comes out Pacific time on Thursdays, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock Eastern time. But let's talk about how all this is affecting us and how the energy is affecting us. And I'll talk more about that tomorrow. How are you being affected when you're being constantly battered with all this news that sounds scary, that is scary, about concentration camps and immigrants being grabbed off the street, about our healthcare being attacked, about people allowed to be in government that are, cheating, and prices and tariffs. So how is this affecting you? So it's really important that we don't get into fear, that we remain grounded, and that we bring the energy of the light and of truth and of clarity, and that our health and our finances are not so much affected because we understand this is all was, if it wasn't for the orange one, we wouldn't have seen all the corruption that was happening. And this is really a power grab, a money grab by billionaires. And it's just whoever is the person that happens to be in charge that's in there that's being manipulated by them. So that's actually what's happening. So as we understand that we're going to make it through this, we're going to be okay, and to remember to breathe and to not get into fear and to be grounded and to enjoy your day. Life goes on. We can take a lesson from the Ukrainians as they're being bombed in a war. They still are growing flowers, falling in love, sharing time with their children, learning in school. Even if it's in a bomb shelter, their life is going on. And they are brave and they are strong. I remember a reader from Australia, which I love the Australians and the readers there. She's a great reader. She was saying how when he won, like, oh, I guess all the American readers are going to go underground now, but I'll still read for you. Like, no, we're not, because we're not afraid of you. We have to be brave now. We have to continue to speak out. We're not going to lose our country and our freedom because and be intimidated. So that's why I'm here doing this work. And it supports me if you subscribe. If you subscribe and like my channel, it puts the algorithms up there. So I really appreciate that. I also have classes coming up to teach about, how to tune in to yourself, heal yourself. And I have a membership group. My members group is every second and fourth Saturday at 12 o'clock Pacific time. And I answer questions and we do guided healings on there. So it's a really great group. It's really inexpensive. It's like $15. My classes are more, but my classes are information intensive, and you get to spend a whole day with me. You get videos that I share with you. So there's a lot of information and content in my classes. And for healing yourself and developing your intuition and manifesting, so they're well worth the money you spend. More, the same price as going out to dinner or something. But so those are there for you. And I really appreciate you watching. And when I work with clients in private readings, I'm booking in August and September now. When I do work with private clients, when I work with my students and my members, I'm in prayer to work with you in the dream plane, in the astral plane, working with you spiritually, with your guides, working with you. And so I personally am not there, but I ask that your guides work with you because that's better for you to develop your connection with them. And I oversee it. Okay, facilitate that for you. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for being here and watching to the end of the video. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.